Hello, it is Saturday, June 15th, 2024. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Saturday crossword today, which means I'm going to be solving the second of two themeless puzzles for the week. These can be tricky. I mean, they certainly are often so, and we'll find out if that's the case today. There isn't a theme, but this tricky, themeless edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Aaron Spiller, Lake House Bros, and, as always, the indomitable Shoalmaster and the incorrigible Sheeler Beeler. They are benefactors of the Daily Self Patreon campaign, which means they support this channel. They bring us this series. For that, I'm very grateful. Thank you so much to the four of them and to everybody who backs the Daily Self Patreon campaign. If you'd like to do so, you can head over to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the description field link where you'll find all of the bonus videos available to patrons. And for benefactors, the Let's Check the Crosses official mug. Those bonus videos includes this week's mini puzzle pseudo speed solve, in which I put up the best times I've put up in recent memory. I'm very pleased with how I did with this week's mini puzzles. So check that out if you're a patron, and thank you if you are. There's also the Daily Solve Discord chat server you can join via a description field link. And finally, it is a big help if you subscribe to the channel on YouTube as well. Thanks to everybody who's done that over the years. And now let's get on to the crossword by Ryan Judge, whose second crossword for the New York Times this is. It was edited once again by Joel Faliano. It's a Saturday themeless puzzle. Let's start solving. 16th century coinage of geographer Gerardus Mercator. Interesting. I mean, obviously that's the Mercator projection. The way to sort of translate the nature of the three-dimensional Earth to a two-dimensional map. But I don't know. I assume this is a term he coined. I don't know what that is. That's interesting. I'll be curious to see the answer. Is it not? Is it not? That's true. Is it not? That's true. Wouldn't you say, or something like that? I mean, that's just too. I'm taking too much of a stab in the dark there. I don't know how to guess that. Sign that might attract interest in signing. To let, maybe? You often see signs that say to let that my brain often wants to read as toilet. And that would mean, this is available to lease, to rent. So it might attract interest in signing a lease. That's what I'm guessing this is in 5 letters. But it could be something else. But I'm going to leave it there for now because I don't have anything else in the grid. Mine find, or a load, maybe? A load is in, the mother lode, for instance. Obviously, it wouldn't need to be that, but just a load of ore, of metal ore that you find to extract. Interjection in Innsbruck. I would say probably ach. Kind of generalized exclamation of surprise or frustration or something in Germany. So, Atlas. That would make sense because obviously Gerardus Mercator, as the presumed, I assume, inventor of the Mercator projection, would have probably wanted a term for a book of maps. There we go. Okay, interesting. I'm guessing it's got to be the answer. I can't imagine it won't be. It's bigger than a peck, a smooch. So a peck, a little kiss, and then a smooch, a bigger kiss. There we go. Is it not? Am I wrong or something like that? Can't think of anything that's long enough. That's the problem. What about this? Learning to ride a bike, perhaps. Not sure. Likely to shrink the most, say. Is that something to do with clothing in a dryer or something like that? Boy, I don't know. This is tricky so far. Blank Lou Wood, sex education actress. I've never seen this, but it looks like it could be Amy or something like that. Amy spelled in the manner of Amy Mann, the singer, but I don't know if that's actually the answer. Katie could be as well. I don't know. Do a host's job. What might a host do? Seat somebody, maybe, at a table or in a seat in a chair. Okay, that could be the answer. I guess those are both technically in a chair. Panamanian pads. Oh, casas, because they would speak Spanish, so your pad is in your home. I think that's probably the answer. That's my guess. So what's this? Could learning to ride a bike, perhaps? Oh, childhood something. Childhood right or childhood tradition or childhood, um, I don't know, but I'm sure this is part of it. That might help. Likely to shrink the most. Oh, shyest. Right, it's a person shrinking away from social interaction, perhaps. Right, okay. Um, so maybe it is Amy then. Amy Lou Wood. I bet that's the answer. So is it not? Am I making sense? No, that's not it. Okay. Do a host job. Oh, right. See, we had that. AMA member. Oh, ask. So AMA stands for, I mean, it could stand for American Medical Association, but I believe in this case it stands for Ask Me Anything, concept from the site Reddit, in which somebody invites questions to be asked of them. And I think a member of that phrase is ask. So there we go. So am I, is it not? Oh, it is. Am I making, what is it? Am I, it really looks like, am I making sense? Am I making this up? Oh, that's what it is. Yes, okay, okay. I now I understand. So you're saying, am I making this up? Is it not? Is this not the answer? Am I inventing this memory? That's what it is. That's what it is. Okay. I see, finally. Good. University allowance. Um, why do I not see what this is? I'm not sure. Church section, and oh, the nave of a church. So the apse is certainly a classic section of a church, probably the official church section of the New York Times crossword. But here we're going with the nave. Washed out, pale. If you have pale colors, they're sort of washed out. So universe. Oh, a stipend. I see. Okay, so maybe you're a graduate student who's teaching a course or something, and you get a stipend. I don't know. You're doing something. I never went to graduate school, so I'm not really sure, but something to that effect. The school is giving you some kind of nominal payment for expenses or something. Anyway, Raphael Blank, all-star third baseman for the Red Sox. I do not have a clue, unsurprisingly. Person who consumes a ritual meal to absorb wrongdoings of the dead, a sin eater. That I do know that concept. So there we go. And then if one walked with purpose, one strode probably. Yeah, strutted or strode, but strutted wouldn't fit. Blew a fuse, say. You shouted, you lost your temper. Rose or rouse, depending on the context. No, it's rows because it's oars. So rowing a boat, oaring a boat. There we go. Oh, no, this doesn't look right, does it? Exceptional. Blew a fuse, say. Oh, shorted. Right. It's not shouted. Right. You could go either way with that, really, I think. But this is shorted as in a short circuit. So maybe you blew a fuse in a literal context, as opposed to the metaphorical, figurative one that I was using for shouted. So exceptional would be rare. There we go. Galaxies, e.g., are probably not. By this, I don't think it means in the astronomical sense, because maybe it does, but I don't know. I don't know what that would be with these crosses. Galaxies could also mean, just metaphorically, enormous quantities or seas of something, but it could also be a product or something. I'm not sure what this is. Okay, we'll keep going. Oh, maybe this is childhood memory, learning to ride a bike. That just popped into my head. Childhood memory. Does that help with this? Like a celebrity friend, often. It doesn't really help me, unfortunately. Name dropped or name dropping or something. Yeah. Like a celebrity friend might be name dropped because if you know a famous person, you might conspicuously mention their name. You might name drop them. Okay, that's what it is. So small cube is a die, as in several dice, and where the Via della Conciliazione runs, is it Rome or Roma? I'm actually not sure. I probably should know that. I've been to Rome a few times, but let's see. Fur-lined outerwear. I don't know. Minuscule machine. Nano something? Nanobot? I could be wrong. Small cube. Oh, it is. It is wrong. Wow. Okay, it's a mathematical clue, not something dealing with gambling or what have you. So I think a small cube, as in one, is a cube number because one cubed is one. Two cubed is eight, so eight is a cube number. Is a cube as well. So, but the smallest cube, I suppose, would be one or zero. I guess one. Does zero count as a square or a cube? I don't know. Doesn't seem like it should, but anyway, one is certainly a small cube. So minuscule machine could be a nanobot. Good. I'm glad I thought to try that. And then Galaxy's EGs. It is a product. They're Android phones. So their Galaxies are examples of Android phones. Okay. Hence the EG, because Galaxies are an example of this thing. Galaxies doesn't mean Androids. It's an example of that product line. Okay. Or that phones that run on that operating system, I guess. Fur-lined outerwear. Anoraks. There we go. That's what we're looking for. The jacket, the warm jacket that you might wear. Okay, associated with train spotters and such here in the UK. Okay, anyway, so where the Via della Conciliazione runs, it is Roma. Okay, I assume it's Roma because we're using the Italian name for this road. I mean, I guess there probably is only an Italian name, really, but in any case, the fact that we're using a sort of several word Italian phrase makes me think the answer will also be the Italian version of the name, but we'll find out. Oh no, final track of Beyonce's Cowboy Carter. This isn't the cross I wanted because I haven't a clue what the answer is. Okay, well, what about this? Oppenheimer's creation, which Oppenheimer certainly wasn't, a bomb, right? There we go. So, of course, Oppenheimer led the team that created the nuclear bomb. And the film by Christopher Nolan was certainly no bomb. It was a huge hit. All right, what the ancient Chinese referred to as rivers and mountains embroidered on silk. Ooh, I'm not sure about this either. Yikes. This is going to be a tricky corner. Oh no, songwriter Jewel, are you kidding? All of these are proper nouns. This is a proper noun, this is a proper noun, this is a proper noun. We cross Roma, which is a proper noun, which is fine, except that it still could theoretically be Rome. I don't think it is, but... And then here we have Hun. Bay, maybe, or... Just trying to think of other terms of endearment. That's the one that comes to mind. How am I going to figure this? Songwriter Jewel. I mean, it looks like style, maybe, or... I don't know, though. What the ancient Chinese referred to as rivers and mountains embroidered on silk. I don't know if this is a craft or if it's... I mean, it looks like it honestly could be Korea, as in the Korean peninsula. But it could be something totally different. It could be a Chinese word referring to some kind of craft, that which, because of the mention of silk, but I mean, obviously that could be metaphorical. I mean, oh, maybe it's Amen, final track, Korea. If that were Korea, this could be AME. This would be Jewel Stein, which that actually does kind of sound familiar. Maybe a songwriter of musicals or something, or I could just be making that up. But that name is vaguely familiar. That's my only guess here. I think I'm going to put it in because the thing is, I'm not going to have a way to make a better series of guesses about this. So I may as well put it in, and if the puzzle doesn't validate, this will be the first place I look. Him whose final couplet is known as Pie Jesu. Him. Oh, Dies Irae. That'll be what it is. Okay. Um, I haven't really thought of Dies Irae as a hymn per se. It's sort of a component of a mass. Maybe it is a hymn. I honestly don't know technically what qualifies in that regard, so I wouldn't claim to have any authority on that. Not taxing as much. If something's not as taxing, it's easier. So there we go. Crepes often served with chutney. Oh, dosas are yeah, you could call them crepes. That's the Indian, but the Indian dish in this case. Um, and yeah, why not? They're sort of thin pancakes, I guess. Places for rook piercings. Ears, I guess. What is that? It's obviously a style of ear piercing, but I don't know. I guess I'd probably recognize it if I saw it, but I'm not sure. But I think it's probably the answer. Sought. Aspired. If you sought to do something, you aspired to do it. Reserves. Sets aside, maybe? Or yeah. If she reserves something, she sets it aside. Okay, I think that's reasonable. Genoese sauces, pestos. There we go. So we've got a few Italian clues today. Here's another. Head of the Corleone family. Don, what was the name? Is it Vito? Don Vito Corleone from the Godfather films and book, presumably. Okay, show on which Phoebe Bridgers famously smashed a guitar in brief. Well, not famously enough for me to be aware of, but that's fine. That's not a huge surprise. It must be SNL, Saturday Night Live. I can't imagine what else would fit there. Upcoming schedule. The slate is the upcoming schedule, the things to come. And here we have fava bean, kind of bean, of course. Inner strength, so to speak, would be, I don't know. What about this? Pop in. To visit is to pop in. Simple enough. Inner strength. Fire is not long enough. I'm not sure. What about this? One of the grandchildren on your knee in the Beatles' When I'm 64. Are they named? I can't remember. Vera? I don't know. It kind of sounds familiar. I just can't remember the actual lyrics. My subconscious is sort of telling me it's probably Vera. Let's see if that works here. Injury that usually involves 2 puncture wounds as some kind of bite. Snake bite? Yeah, that would make sense. Okay, so what about the 2 fangs? So what about this then? Fiber, inner strength. Yeah, inner strength. Your moral fiber, for instance, would be an example of inner strength. Okay, so sauce made with Parmesan, Alfredo, another sort of Italian dish. That's less of a sort of authentic thing, but nonetheless, it's in the Italian language. Chain letters. KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Here in London, there are essentially infinite kind of knockoff fried chicken restaurants basically everywhere. Most of them aren't knockoffs, but the ones I'm specifically referring to have knockoff names such as Tennessee Fried Chicken, Mississippi Fried Chicken. There's countless of those. Just sort of some letter FC to try and obviously trade on that brand recognition. Okay, like I care, you might say dismissively. One-time subject of King Gyanendra. Bengali? No, I don't know this name, unfortunately. Somali, maybe? I'm not sure. Sorry. I wish I did know that, but I don't offhand. Extend in a way. And what about this? Steak often crusted in sesame seeds. Ahi tuna? That's pretty common preparation for a tuna steak, would be crusted in sesame seeds. That sounds nice. Extend in a way. Still don't see it. Got one's phone dirty? Question mark. Sexted. There we go. So sent some racy messages. So what is this? Okay, I was obviously wrong with both of my guesses. Nepali. That's what I think this is. That I feel much better about than my previous guesses. Hopefully it's actually correct. Extend in a way. Re-up. There we go. This is looking better. Tenor, alto, soprano, e.g. These are examples of ranges of saxophone. There we go. I think we had alto in the grid as a middle range yesterday or the day before, but here it is again. In this case, specifically referring to the tenor sax or the alto sax and tenor and whatever else we had, soprano. Collar attachment. A dog leash might be attached to the dog's collar. There we go. And classic tune used as an ice cream truck jingle with the entertainer. Here in the UK, you're more likely to hear the song that Americans, such as myself, would identify with Yankee Doodle in an ice cream truck, which I find disorienting. Mine find 34 down. Not sure. Untruthfully, question mark. Untruthfully on a... I don't know what that is, sorry. Marching band syllable, rah, rah, rah or something? Mine find, okay, don't know. Anita nicknamed the Jezebel of jazz. Not sure offhand there either. Noted tempter, a siren or noted tempter? I'm not sure what this is, sorry. Look at me go. Cone made of canvas, say. What is that about? Oh, a teepee, probably. A cone. I was thinking like a little cone, like an ice cream cone or something. That's something that size. No, this is a very large cone in which you might sleep. So teepee associated with Native Americans of various tribes. Okay, so what about mine find? Mine find. Mine. I assume this means in a mine in the earth, but maybe it's not. I can't think of what the word would be. Oh, deposit. Right. So like a deposit of ore. I mean, very similar to load. We had oh, it is. It is similar. It's exactly the same clue. Mine find and mine find. So a load or a deposit, in each case, presumably of metal ore or whatever, I guess. Marching band syllable, opa, like oompa, like a sort of, imitating a sort of tuba, oompa, oompa. Maybe that's probably what that is. Untruthfully is on a dare? No, I don't know why that would be untruthfully. Okay, Anita. Yeah, I'm just not seeing anything that looks right to me with those letters. Noted tempter. Could it be siren? Could this be wrong? Am I making this up? This answer? Am I making it up? But if it were siren... No, I just don't believe that could be the answer. Have I looked at this yet? Oh, born in Quebec. This would be né, for this is the feminine form of born in French. So there we go. In Quebec, of course, a French-speaking place. So noted tempter. God, it really looks like siren, doesn't it? I don't think it can be. That's so strange. Look at me go. I'm free. I'm stuck in this. These corners have really tripped me up, haven't they? Anita nicknamed the Jezebel of jazz. Really feel as though I should know this, and yet I can't seem to get it. Untruthfully, on a... I don't know. Look at me go. How am I so stuck here? Oh, I haven't looked at this. Alma mater of 3 consecutive U.S. presidents. I bet it's Yale. I think quite a few U.S. presidents went to Yale. Okay. Oh, O'Day. Anita O'Day. That I'm 100% sure that's right. Which means this isn't, am I making this? Am I making that up? Okay, fine. I was making this up. It's that. So, it's Satan is the tempter. Okay. Right. Boy, I wish I would have thought of Anita O'Day earlier. That would have helped. I guess I was thrown off by my incorrect I here. So it's just a reminder, you can never be, there's certain words that are easily replaced for others, and you can just never be quite sure when they're in the grid. Look at me go. I rule. Okay, that's what it is. So it's a generalized exclamation of self-confidence. Okay. So untruthfully is on a dare. Why is that the case? Oh, my goodness. It's because of the game Truth or Dare. So if you're doing something on a dare, it's because you declined to offer a truth, and rather you said, I don't want to tell you a truth. I'm going to do a dare. Dare me to do something. So I think that's what that's getting at. Let me know if there's a different way to read that, but I think that's it. And then that's it. So I fortunately did not need to revisit this tricky corner up here. What a brutal corner of proper nouns. For me, it was anyway. Let me know if you struggled with this one as well. I think that was a pretty tricky puzzle. Oh. Sorry, I've just realized this puzzle has an unusual symmetry. It has diagonal symmetry in the sense that if you can imagine folding the puzzle down its kind of negative diagonal line here, bisecting the grid diagonally at a 45-degree angle, and then folded it, you'd see the black cells in the same position. Usually, it's radially or rotationally symmetrical. So if you rotated the puzzle 180 degrees, or often even 90 degrees, you'd see the same position of the cells. But no, not today. It's diagonally symmetrical. I don't think that means anything. It's just a choice that the constructor made. Often when that's the case, it's for some specific thematic reason, but it's a Saturday puzzle, and I didn't perceive any theme. So sorry, it was just a thing that I noticed at the last moment. But anyway, there we go. That was the Saturday crossword. I thought it was on the tricky side. Let me know how you fared with this in the comments or the Discord chat server. Always curious to know. But I'll be back tomorrow for the Sunday themed grid. Do join me for that. Until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Saturday. Take care.